coming in hot, kids. I just hit my elbow on the
Dude,
freaking table. I'm not kidding. I'm not
Casey
kidding. I'm not
Casey was just getting ready to do the boom coming in hot and then just crushed his funny bone. If you guys watch this on video, and he always does like the pull down, like a lat pull down. He elbowed. What did you hit it on? Did you hit it on that weird edge?
table.
Oh,
This table right there.
oh no, on the edge, on the corner.
Yeah, on the edge. Dude,
I
I'll
heard
tell
it.
you what. Can you remember your worst funny bone incident?
I actually got hit in a funny bone with a pitch in a baseball game, and I actually could not feel my arm for like another hour to a point where I was like, "Oh, it's like I'm crippled." Like that happened once, and I was like in seventh grade, and I kept telling my dad, "I'm like, it's never gonna come out. It's not. It's gonna be funny," and he's like, "It's gonna go away. Relax. Rub some dirt on it." You know. What about you?
Dude, it's funny you say that. I had the worst funny bone incident, but Gavin Floyd hit me with a cutter in my back funny bone. So it was like heat-seeking missile. It just kept coming. I was like this. It was like, bam! It hit me right there. My whole body went numb, bro.
Oh, I could believe it.
I'm down. I'm in the box. I can't even move. I'm like, and like I'm sitting there. Then Leland comes out and he's like, "Hey, baby, you all right? You all right? What's going on? What's going on? You all right? Can you go? Can you go?" I'm like, meanwhile, I'm like, "Oh my god, I can't move my body. Like I'm numb. My left side of my freaking body's numb." He's like, "Can you go?" And like, you don't want to tell Leland you can't go. So I'm like, "Yeah, I can go." So I run down to first, bro. I can't even move. I'm sitting there. The third in out comes, but Chinch, it's my glove hand.
Oh,
So I have to actually pick it up, and I can't move it, right? So now I got a decision maker. It's like the fifth inning. I'm like, I can't lift my arm.
yeah. You get a 90-mile-per-hour liner from your shortstop throwing it, and it hits you right in the heart. You could go down forever if you didn't.
Exactly, dude. Exactly. That's what I mean, dude. I'm right in the neck. I'd be done. So, dude, but the problem is Leland smokes heaters in between innings. Like talking to Leland in between innings is like going up to a pit bull that you just put a freaking 32-ounce ribeye in front of. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I don't know what to do. So I go to Gene Lamont. I'm like, who's the bench coach? I go, Gino, I don't think I can go, bro. I was like, I can't lift my arm. I was like, I thought it would come back, but it's not. It's like my toes to neck. I can't feel anything. He's like, all right. He's like, go tell Skip. I'm like, you go tell Skip. I'm like, why do you think I'm talking to you? I'm talking to you because I'm scared of leaving. I was like, I'd rather wear one in the neck out there right now.
Gene, you got to play good cop.
Yeah, I said, dude, I ended up like I had to suck it up because the inning's about to start. We have no first baseman. So I go down. I'm like, hey, Skip, and like he didn't even respond. His head's down. He's like he's taking the biggest drag you've ever seen. It's like the butter maker. You know what I mean? Like the freaking cigarette. It's like he's one ripping them. Like you would, I like a couple guys could like Wade Boggs drinks a beer, Jim Leland smokes a cigarette. Just one tips at one. So I'm going up to Leland. I'm like, hey Skip, I don't think I go. And I rattle him, bro. He puts his head up. He's like, what? I'm like, I can't feel my left side of my arm. I don't think I can play first. It was like, all right, goddamn. He's like, all right. Tell Gino to get Tim's in there. Get Marcus Tim's in there. He's like, go upstairs. Now he's got elbow and never bother me again when I'm smoking heat.
Did he say? So good. When you were talking about that, Bill Rifkin told me, and he said this out loud before, that his dad, senior, he smoked heaters. First of all, he would throw BP with a full heater in his mouth. And he said he would like pinch it right there. And he said he smoked cigarettes so far down to the bottom that he had a permanent like little like brown spot on the top of his lip because he wore it out so much. And and he like there was no more pain. He could just burn his one part of his lip.
There's no more pain.
Yeah.
So good.
Anyway,
so when men were men, bro.
When we're men.
Hey, yeah. Hang on. I think my sink's running. Hang on a second.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God, those are super short shorts you got on, dude. I almost saw your twigs and berries right there. Casey's trying to turn
my Lululemon shorts, bro. Look,
dude. Oh my goodness! Holy moly! That looks like the piece of meat that Rocky was punching in Rocky 2. All right, speaking of Rocky, dude, this Jake Casey kid keeps hitting bombs, dude. Cape Cod League. What does he play for? The Yardbirds?
No. Orleans Firebirds.
Who are the Yardbirds? Who are the Yardbirds? They must be a
Is
minor.
that Yarmouth Dennis, maybe? I don't know.
Wait, so what? What does he play for, though?
Yarmouth Dennis. No. He doesn't play for them. He plays for the Orleans Firebirds.
Orleans Firebirds. Dude,
Hit his second bomb last night, which I said, hey, man, when I played in the Cape, I only hit one. So
he's got more than you know. It was a freaking bomb, and then we were talking before he came on. It looks like he's pimping every time he hits a homer, but I don't think it is. I think he's like kind of resetting his. I think it's like the perfect swing, so like he gets off balance, but he does this little like hop step.
Like leans back or something.
He's like freaking Sammy Sosa. It's not like that, but how great was that? Sammy Sosa would make connection and dive backwards like 6 feet.
Dude, I was there in the midst of Sammy Sosa's run when he was Sammy Sosa. It was incredible. Yeah, it was incredible, and it was incredible in Chicago, dude. They loved him.
Unbelievable, bro. There was, if everybody go back and YouTube the I believe it was it Milwaukee. The home run derby in Milwaukee was like the greatest grouping of people who have ever done steroids in the history of baseball. And they were hitting balls like 530 into like the third deck. Do you remember that?
It was incredible.
You might not have been there. If you weren't there, you're probably like fish. You're probably like some
I wasn't
resort.
there. Yeah, it was 2000. That was the 2002 All-Star game when they ran out of players. Remember?
Oh my God, that's right.
Ran out of players. Whoopsie.
Oh, that was so bad. Holy moly!
They had to call it a tie. Yeah,
that was bad. There are reports that I won't even say out loud about how Bud Selig felt that night, and people that saw it, like, understandably. I think that was his last year. Maybe it was one of his.
Nah, it wasn't his last year, but
it was in his hometown. Where he sold all his cars and made billions of dollars.
Yeah.
You know this about Bud Selig? What he ate for lunch every single day of his life?
Like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or chicken?
2 hot dogs. When he would come to MLB Network in the first few years, Karen Ritter, shout out Karen Ritter, if you remember her. Yeah. She was our...
What's up, Ritter? Yeah, I love Ritter. You kidding me?
Yeah, awesome lady. Kiki, people call her. She was like, she ran like the floor and ran it with like an iron fist at MLB Network. But whenever Bud was coming, we had to get him 2 hot dogs. We had to somebody would like drive into the city and go to like one of those dirty water dog hot dog stands and bring him 2 hot dogs, and we would have him ready for him when he got to the MLB Network. I swear. Anyway, so Jake, dude, how's he doing? How's he hitting otherwise? What numbers he batting? Right. Give me everything.
Yeah, he's doing all right. The pitching. He faced a kid throwing 102 the other day with NASA. It's good pitching, dude. Like, I'm watching these kids. I'm like, wow, this is legit. Like, night in and night out. So yeah, he's getting a feel for it. He's getting his feet under him. He had a sack bunt. He was 1 for 3 last night. Sack bunt, hit that home run in the 9th to put him up 2 instead of 1. So. Hey, man, the great thing about baseball is you stand alone in that box and you stand alone on that mound, and you got to be able to figure it out yourself. So it's kind of fun watching him grow as a player. You know?
Yeah. The other great thing about baseball is that the Cincinnati Reds double-digit win streak, 10 in a row. Let's go. Reds Hall of Famer Sean Casey. How do we feel about this right now?
Dude, let's go. 10 in a row, and it's a fun team to watch.
Super fun.
It's fun. These guys are balling right now. They got the Viking helmet on and all the stuff, and Votto's back, and he's raking, and he's in the mix. And I mean, dude, that rotation's legit. The Diaz is 20 for 20 in saves. I mean, dude, it's not just De La Cruz and McClain. I mean, they got some stuff. I mean, Spencer Steers raking. They got some off the bottom, bro. That lineup is.
There's those teams every year. Like I really believe this is following it. You probably know it better as a player, but where everything just kind of fits itself into its place. Where like there's very little controversy. Remember a week ago, we were like, "What are we gonna do? What are they gonna do when Votto comes back?" Well, he'll fit right in. He seems like he has a mentality. Right. Even if he doesn't start again, I kind of see him being okay with like, "Hey, Joey, we'll work you back in a lineup, maybe come off the bench." And he is such a cerebral person. That interview you did with him at the All-Star game that one year where he was explaining his process, I was like, this guy's like brilliant and crazy all at the same time. But like, I feel like he could, if there's anybody that could adapt to a role, I feel like if he bought in, which I think it seems like he's saying everything right, that he's buying in. He's like, I'm part of this Reds team. I'm the veteran, whatever I can do to help. You could get it the opposite way. You could get the Joey Votto. It's like, I'm playing first. I don't care about anybody else. I don't see that right now. I think he knows where he is. I think he's comfortable in his skin. Like you said yesterday, when you get older and you're like, I need to start enjoying my career more. I bet about 4 or 5 years ago, I could see Joey not really enjoying himself. I feel like he's going to just ride this wave. I don't know.
Dude, I think right now, I think you're right. I think he's almost like, whatever I can do. If you want me to start at first, good. If you want me to come off the bench, good. I'll do whatever.
DH.
Want me to just be a leader and a voice, good. But, I think obviously he still has some juice to help out. But, dude, right now with what they're doing, all hands on deck for whatever role you got to take.
So much
they
fun.
are playing so well, dude. They're first in the Central, dude.
It's amazing.
They're first place. They're in first place.
Yes, they're in first place.
Half game up on the Brewers.
Yeah, they are a half game up. 10 in a row. The Brewers have gone 4-6, so they just picked up 6 games in the standings in a week and a half. Hey, another team we got to give props to, man. Orioles, once again, they're 7-3. They won in the last 10. They won 2 in a row. They're now 4 games back, and the bigger thing is who they beat last night, right?
Well, they're going head to head with the Rays, and anytime if you're gonna make ground in the East, you gotta beat the Rays when you play them because the Rays are really good. But the Orioles they're proving that they're really good too. So.
Yeah.
Those are two. It's so funny. Would you ever thought this time of the year, Cinch, you and me would be like, the Rays and the Orioles are the 2 powerhouses in the East.
It's amazing. But you know what? I love it, though. I really do love it. Don't you? It's so good for the game.
Yeah.
And by the way, guess who the Orioles have in their starting lineup yesterday who went 2 for 4 with a run and 4 RBIs? Aaron Hicks. Aaron Hicks,
what?
Who could not even get on the field with the Yankees by the time. Like that. What is it about that? Sometimes you really do psychologically need a change of scenery sometimes, don't you? And it doesn't. I don't think there's anything you can scientifically point to. But sometimes when you get out of one place, what do? You just reset and start in your head. You start. I'm batting 0 for 0 right now. Like
I think you play those games where you're like, listen, it didn't work out over there, and it started to get. Listen, as human beings, we can feel tension, we can feel energy. And when the energy goes bad, sometimes it's tough to, get that mojo back. And I think for Aaron Hicks, the energy went bad. It was a power outage in New York. And so for him to get the Orioles and kind of have a fresh start, no one really knows him there. He can kind of be a new guy and put on a new persona and go out there and get hot, right away. Instead of having the numbers he had in New York, he can go there and start fresh.
Look, one of the most physically gifted players in the game. There's no question about that. And they signed him to that big contract because he showed that off for a little while and it just didn't work out.
Oh, yeah, dude. They say golfing, too. He's one of the best golfers out there.
Oh, dude, he's a stud. Isn't he? I think is he the one who's married to, Tiger Woods' niece or something like that? Somebody is. I don't know. I digress. Hey, another thing.
Like that, yeah.
Yeah, by the way, strike that from the record. I don't want to be talking out of turning.
That's like my buddy Gooch in 8th grade. I was like, hey, I need a haircut. He's like, hey, my uncle's a barber. So I'm like, yeah, that sounds good. He cut my hair. I had to freaking get it shaved because he cut it so bad. And looking back, I'm like, why would his uncle being a barber mean that
he's good? Yeah.
So why is Aaron Hicks being a good golfer because he married Tiger Woods' niece or Tiger Woods' niece? With that, I don't know if that's true, but anyway, that sounds awesome.
That reminds me of a funny Jerry Seinfeld line where he talks about, how come everybody, when you say go to this doctor, he's the best. He's the best. Not every doctor can be the best. Number one, and he goes, this guy just made it. He's like, I guarantee at some point in your life, you have gone to a doctor. All of us have, who just barely graduated. And they have their life in their hands. Hey, one other good sign, Adley Rutschman. This is why this guy's a stud, right? He goes 0 for 3, so he's not doing anything at the plate. How about 2 walks and a run? That's a sign of a baseball player. You can go 0 for 3 and still still
do something, score a run, get on base, whatever it takes. Yeah. Get the line moving.
Yeah. All right. And as we go, we have to go to our, what do we call it? The Ohtani Minute. I'm gonna have an animation built for this. Yeah. Okay. Good news for you fans of the Angels. Quote from their GM yesterday. when asked, would you trade? First of all, I wouldn't want to be the one to walk up to the GM of the Angels right now and go, "Hey, would you going to trade Ohtani?" Somebody did. I give him credit for it. I just don't have the stones for it. This is a quote. I think anybody who has watched us play or looked where we're at in the standings, I've said this before and I'll say it again, we like him and we hope he's here a long time. It's pretty self-explanatory where we're at. So,
well, that makes you feel good when Perry Manasian's saying that, hey, listen, we want to keep Shohei Ohtani for an Angel fan. You're like, please keep him. I mean, that would be crazy. It'd be, crazy to see him elsewhere. But listen, the Dodgers, I really think the Dodgers are lurking. There's no doubt about it. Mm-hmm. But with Shohei, though, it is a pickle for the Angels because they are playing well and they're right up there in the West at the top.
Yeah.
And now you're like, okay, the deadline. We're into June. Deadline is coming up next month, and you're in that gray area where are you going to make the playoffs? Or are you not? And if you don't bring back Shohei at the end of the year, you get nothing for him.
Nothing.
So
that's tough,
definitely.
Man. But listen, there's got to be, and there's no loyalty in this world, right? Like, although maybe there is. I mean, Shohei, maybe he's like, they were good to me, I'll be good to them. They've done. No, you don't think so.
Maybe with Shohei. I don't know. I don't know Shohei.
An extra few hundred. We're talking differences of like, probably the difference between what they. Like, if it gets to a situation where another team could actually probably outbid the Angels by like $100 million.
Right. That's what I mean. Stevie Cohen comes in and goes, 7? How about 8?
Yeah, here's another quote from Artie Moreno. I just don't know how you replace a guy like that. We want to win, and it's nice to have him in our lineup. For me, it's about the fans. And go back. I remember this a couple years ago because this is like rinse and repeat with the Angels because the Trout conversation was happening for 2 years before they signed him, and they signed him. And I remember very clearly Artie Moreno said, I am not going down in history as the owner who traded Mike Trout. And I kind of, this is a different circumstance, though, because this guy's going to make a bazillion. I don't know if anybody can afford him.
Dude, this is the first year they've been winning, though. Don't forget, they've always had Shohei. They've always had Trout. Rendon's contract hurts them, dude. Rendon signed for $240 million, hurts them bad.
Killer.
So you've had Rendon, you've had Trout, you've had Ohtani, and you haven't won.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the only thing. They're fine. This is the first year they're winning. So you're starting to see, okay, we now know we have the best player in the world on our team. And Trout was always the best, but Shohei is clearly the best now, no doubt about it. So, it's a different situation.
Did you just hit your funny bone again?
I just hit my knee. My knee's all hot with my short shorts on. I just freaking bruised my kneecap. Elbows hurt. I think it's time for me to go, bro.
All right, get out of here, man. What do you got going today? You're going back to the...
we got MLB Draft Combine later today on MLB Network. It's going to be great. It was cool, man. Like right yesterday, running into Luis Gonzalez and Prince Fielder, Adrian Beltre, like doing these hitting demos or just hitting with these guys. Yeah. Jed Lowry, like really some good dudes. It was really cool.
Yeah, and Case was gathering numbers, everybody. A lot of those names you just heard, we're going to try to get on a show this next couple
Locking in, dude.
Weeks.
Yeah, I went to dinner last night with Jared Carrabis.
Nice.
Who does a lot of stuff with the Red Sox and stuff. Great guy, man.
Yeah.
It was a nice dinner. So
nice.
Meet some new people, Chinch.
There you go. It's all good.
I'm spreading my wings.
That's good for you. All right, good. All right, bro.
All right, brother. Have a great day, Chinchy.
You too.
Get out to that pool. Tell Jess I said hi. Everybody, thanks for listening. We'll see you tomorrow.